Hey everybody, failed entrepreneur, back again. Make crappy videos every day. Every day, new riots, new cities. No signs of stopping. It isn't going to stop anytime soon. Um, this is where we're at. I don't know what else to say. Now, today's video is, if you're here, you're probably in the same boat. You've seen a lot of Riot apologists online, posting articles or making statements or opinions on why, basically giving social cover that making it okay to go and loot and destroy, and this is how you solve problems now, and this is what MLK wanted people to do. There's a MLK quote going around about how violence or riots is the voice of the unheard, and so that one thing, we can throw MLK's legacy away, and MLK is now pro-violence. If you look on social media, I guess that's the new interpretation. It's just frustrating. As an educator, shouldn't be surprised to see the amount of massive ignorance that is out there. Educated people that friends of mine who are educated. It's just, there's so much pervasive spin. It's social cover. That's what it is. It's people allowing this to continue, throwing their support behind these riots. Again, it's easy to throw someone else's community under the bus when yours is perfectly fine. And to highlight this, a friend of mine posted an article on her timeline where someone, I guess a blogger like me, wrote an article on common misconceptions, or here's how, I'll link it in the comments, how to respond to riots never solve anything. So this is someone's talking points, I guess, which again, not singling this person out in any way. They just had the misfortune of having their article posted on my friend's timeline. I don't know this person. No beef with them. It's just that it's a good list of all the common misconceptions that I'm seeing online. And as you can see, this person who ever wrote it, or the people who say this, are just totally clueless. So here we go. I'm going to go through this here and show you why these arguments hold no water at all. And you can believe what you want, but you can also be wrong, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. And you'll see why. So here we go. Point by point, and tell me if you've heard this before, right? Rioting never solves anything. Whoa! Hey, in case you didn't know, there was a thing called the Boston Tea Party a while ago, and the American Revolution was started by riots and looters and violence and protesters. So this is okay, because this is what, and it's okay when white colonists did it, but you can't be doing this now. Okay, first of all, okay, you see this a lot. Bullshit. This is bullshit. Okay, these are not tactics of protesting. If you know your history, you know the Boston Tea Party led to war. These are tactics geared towards war. Okay, so if you're cool with war, if this is your resolution, if this is the end game you're trying to promote, okay, then by all means stick with it. But if people aren't in favor of these riots, they're not anti-black. They may not be racist. Keep in mind, they may be anti-war, because this is where you're going. This is how revolutions start. Open up any history book, which the author, you'll see if you read, seems to have read, I guess, a history book. He probably needs to read some more. Revolution 101. Okay, if you want to destabilize a government, if you want to destabilize a society, if you want to make massive radical change, yeah, you don't protest, you go raise hell, you go loot, you go break windows. Kristallnacht, Nazi Germany, 1933. Mao Zedong, the Communist Revolution, that was like 20, 30 years. Fidel Castro, Cuba. Look around. This is what you do, okay? ISIS, Syria, Iraq, Al-Qaeda, Afghanistan, this is what you do. You cause violence. You create a breakdown of society. You destroy law and order. And in that vacuum, you rise to fill that void. And now that you are in charge, surprise, the violence ends because the people who started it, it's not in their best interest to keep that going anymore. So that's a bullshit excuse. Anyone who is giving you the Boston Tea Party explanation needs to, like I said, not read a history book, maybe needs to go back to history class. This leads to war. These are tactics of warfare. This is how you pick a fight. This is what we're seeing right now. Destabilization, breakdown of law and order, and it's not like, well, it's Tuesday. I guess we're going to stop rioting now. We did everything. No, the whole point is to increase and engage and provoke. So yeah, if you're anti-rioting, again, you're not racist. You're anti-war. So let's be clear about that. Read your history. Study your history, ladies and gentlemen. Point number 2. Rioting just gives people a reason not to support your cause, is what people will say. Author says, only if you equate property damage to human lives. And in that case, were you really supporting our cause anyway? If all it takes is people stealing from Target for you to say, well, now I don't care about dead black people, then why are you even speaking? End quote. Bullshit. Okay, you can be anti-riot and anti-police brutality at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive arguments, though everybody online is trying to force you into one corner or the other. It's divide and conquer. It's bullshit. You can, and you know what? Most people probably are anti-riot and anti-police brutality. Those aren't hot takes. But again, the way it looks like online, or maybe I have the wrong group of friends, I don't know. This seems to be the common assumption. It's one or the other. Surprise, most people in the United States are moderates. They're not one political party or one point of view. They're kind of in the middle. So don't be the idiot who calls people out for having common sense and wanted to see the greater good instead of an eye for an eye or just violence. It's bullshit. Number 3, we are going. This is a great article. That's why I have this video here. 3, the rioters are criminals and they don't even care about police brutality stuff. There's no yes. If you loot and you vandalize and you're a criminal. How are you saying that it's justified? Okay, but no, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. This is a land of law. You can't be doing that. Again, it's easy to throw someone else's community or car or property or life under the bus. You might have a different tune if people want to go spread justice by breaking your windows. I'd like to see you just stand back and be, well, it's for the greater good. My window is going to improve a lot of people's lives. Bullshit. It's a criminal activity. How can you how can you apologize for that? Bullshit. It's a criminal act. Plain and simple. Why is this even for debate? 4, being frustrated is no reason to be violent. Everyone reacts to stress differently. I have no desire to riot, obviously. That's not my frustration at the world. That's not how my frustration at the world takes root. It doesn't manifest itself as a rolling mass of energy that needs to be released, but I can understand how it could in others. Look at the situation. And then it goes off to say that we're in a corona pandemic, and so people are just stressed because of high unemployment and losing their jobs. And yeah, I'll agree. There's a lot of stress right now. It's summer. It's hot. It's not a good time in the country. Situation ripe for destabilization to take advantage of. 2, or section B, whatever, second part. The virus is affecting black people to a higher degree because we're denied access to health services and we're forced to work during it. I had no idea that all essential workers were black, but according to this person, I guess they are. And so that gives you the reason to riot. I didn't know that there were whites or women or Hispanics or elderly or young. This is a pretty racist comment from someone who's not. Racism's a two-way street. Everybody can be. Just because you are a minority doesn't mean you're immune to racism. But I guess blacks have a right because, again, they're hit hard by corona, which seems to be the case. But they I guess they're all essential workers. And so because they have to work during this, they're just venting. And that this is, it's okay to be violent. We'll come back to this. Sorry, everyone's in the same boat here. So I don't think corona, unemployment is racist. I think I'll take it back. Corona isn't racist if you are a minority and you have lower jobs. Yes, okay, but does not give you an excuse. Okay. 5. Attacking an elderly disabled woman is a step too far. I don't hear this argument. I guess there was a woman in a Target. According to this guy, I'll take him at his word. She had a knife. I guess she was there to stab black people and she got fire extinguished. This slipped through my cracks. I have no idea what this is, but even if this is the story, first, yes, don't go and stab people. Not acceptable. But I mean, if you're pro Riot, then maybe shouldn't you at least be able to understand her point of view? I don't know. But the actions of one fire extinguished woman does not a riot justify. But I don't know. Number 6. This is his last one. There are better ways. Keep working on those. Keep working on those better ways. Don't let the riots stop you. Fight for criminal justice reform. Fight for income inequality. Fight for universal health care. Free education. Higher taxes than 1%. Fight for all those things that would make rioting less likely. And while you're fighting the long, slow war toward black people having a fair shot in this country, the same war we've been fighting for hundreds of years, there will be times when some people directly affected by the war see your actions as futile and they just want to break some stuff. Again, this is just straight apology for violence. I'm sorry, maybe this guy, Rafi D'Angelo, hey Rafi, doesn't understand how movements work. He's a young guy, so that's possible. I'm sorry, MLK didn't just boycott a bus, call it a day and go home. These are movements to make big changes that you want. The bigger the change, the longer it takes. There's setbacks. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. Obviously. I mean, look around, okay? But just giving up, throwing in the towel, and, well, it wasn't working before, so we're just going to scrap it and go to the other end of the spectrum. I'm sorry. And I hate to say it, and I could be wrong. Kind of hope I am wrong, but what we're seeing right now, rightly or wrongly, deserved or undeserved, the movement, the Black Lives Matters movement has been building and growing for so long. You just set yourself back all that progress you've been creating. This is not a one-time thing, a one-day thing that you can look past. This is going to be in the history books. This is spreading, we're seeing, to other nations. There was protests I saw in Berlin, I guess London, Black Lives Matter, or Can't Breathe, or something was trending in London about this. Karl Marx would be proud. But like I was saying, this isn't the way that you do things. And just be, well, it's not that it wasn't working before. That's not the argument here. The argument is just, well, it wasn't fast enough. We're getting tired, and so we're just not going to do that anymore just because it wasn't quick. And maybe you shouldn't sign up for that. I don't know. Okay, you need to understand the fight that you're getting in, and some people spend their whole lives doing this. Okay, that's how movements go. It's not I know, hey, society right now, we're all instant gratification, but sorry, man, and it doesn't work that way. At least not for the big types of change that we need right now. But anything you've done it's the target's not the only thing that's being burned to the ground. Let's just say that. So don't be upset. Don't act confused. Don't go around and wonder why people don't listen to you or follow you anymore. When this is the option that not everyone's adopting, but this is the loudest voice that we're hearing right now. There's another thing, like I said, that's I'm surprised he doesn't mention here, but I've seen this a lot, is there's a quote from MLK where he talks about riots and protesters being the voice of the unheard. And that this is a small quote taken from a much bigger, well, not even that long of an interview, but it's like a 30-second clip of like a 4-minute interview. I'll link this as well if you want to see, where MLK is being interviewed in, I think, 1966, about kind of the state of the civil rights movement, some comments he had made. And if you watch the entire clip, which, again, 4 minutes, short attention span might be hard for people these days, you'll see very clearly that Martin Luther King will say at the very beginning, I am anti-violence. I am anti-violence till the very last day. If I am the last voice and the last person, I will always be anti-violence. It can't be any clearer than that. He goes on to say, while he understands while people riot, he's very clear it's not a good long-term solution. It's not really a way to accomplish stuff, but kind of being the realist that he is, he understands that people are frustrated and upset. And he even says that there's a good chance we'll be seeing a lot more riots in our country's history because people are frustrated and they're kind of lashing out. It's not a support for riots. That's not MLK endorsing riots. He would be turning over in his grave right now or coming back on the Boondocks, if I'm talking about that episode. And this is not what he fought for, but seeing people metamorphosize MLK into a violent supporter, riot looting supporter, is bewildering. I can't say it's shocking, given the state of society we live in today. But I want to, stay tuned for the MLK pro-violent t-shirt or something. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. But if you see that going around, please let people know that MLK is not a violent individual. He spent his whole life working against nonviolence. He's one of the leaders of the nonviolent movement. He taught that. And it's very sad that a 30-second honest, realistic answer seems to be the flavor of the day for how we remember MLK. So I'm at a loss for words. It's frustrating that, like I said, so many people are promoting this, sharing this, and it's, as an educator, frustrating. But hey, when you take away from your civics and government and history classes, I guess this is what we see. This is what some people want. So easily confused and easily led. Anyway, that's it for today. Had to get that out. Ain't in it anytime soon. This is tactics geared towards war. This is escalation, and it's going to be, I don't want to say it's the norm, but this is not going away anytime soon, because that's not how these are designed to work. This is a long-term escalating solution, and the people that are promoting it are very much playing with fire, because as that fire grows and spreads, don't do a Twitter party for me on why your house is no longer there, or why you don't have a job because it burned down, or why your car was sacrificed for justice when it comes back and bites you. As people who are already living in those situations are finding right now. So, failed entrepreneur, thanks for watching. If you disagree, hey, please, in the comments, and we can have a discussion about it. But if these are the points you're supporting, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. You don't understand how these things work. But whatever. All right, I gotta go. I got things to do. You do too. I'll catch you later.